Good evening. This is Ken at Tortoise Capital with the Nightly Strategy Podcast for November 8th, 2022. We'll start with the sniper trade of the day. And what we have is the lithium ETF. And this was yesterday's close. So there's a gap opening. The OR3, the opening range 3, is here. It runs up, pulls down, runs up, does not make a new high, comes down, breaks down below the OR3. I wait for it to break the PSAR. I take a standard entry short, put a standard risk box. That's our R10. That's the R10 risk box, computed every day. It immediately fails for a 1R loss. So we stop and reverse because this is clearing the high of the day. We just keep the same risk box on. And we're noticing the favorable belly of the RL10 is rising. And the PSAR is starting to move up. So our stop is here. And we get an initial burst on up to here. By this moment, we have traction. So we got to move our stop to no lose plus dinner for 2. And now we've locked in all of these gains right here. These are gains. That's our money now. Compared to the 1R risk box, we're about +1. And now we're in good shape. Still working. We can give this a little more room to run now. Now we notice that the RL10 has started to fail and then resumed immediately. Now we've got 2R in hand. So we add a second position at the 2R battle drill. And by this time, our stop needs to be right about here. And then pretty soon, as soon as we can lock in that second entry and get that one to no lose, then we'll be pretty happy. Now we get another R10 wiggle. Put a third position on. Liking the PSAR exit right now. Tightens up, getting close. Should have exited right there. This is bad form. Should have exited right here. And then should have re-entered right there. And in practice, I believe I did, because this was a re-entry. I think I just failed to mark that up on this chart. The re-entry on the Kata 2 single position is a scratch. That becomes a stop and reverse with standard risk, and a standard exit, which is a stop and reverse to the long side. So let's see what happened here. Yeah, this was the exit. This was a re-entry that rolled over for a scratch. We put the short position on, took the PSAR as an exit, so that's about 1R. When this exit happens, we go long with a standard risk box on. That's what's going on here. That loses for 1R. That's a stop and reverse short. Now that's a collapsing dragon because we have a high, a low, a lower high. And now this breaks below the low of the RL10. So that's why we get that. And then that's the same standard risk box that we've been using all day. That gains a fraction. That's a stop and reverse. And that's about a 1R win for the day. So let's take a look when the smoke clears. Let's total it all up. So we had -1 on the first trade short. Then this one gain. This was the exit was here. So this one gains about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the first one. 7, 8, 9 on the second one. 1 on this one. So this whole series is about 10. That's a scratch. This is 1, so we're up plus 11, but -1, so we're at plus 10. This is -1, so we're at 9. Fractional gain, so call that a scratch, and that's about an extra 1. So that's 10R for the day in lithium. Wanted to give a hat tip to Bill Scheit with a good find from TradingView with a step-by-step guide on how to blow out your account. Pretty good article there. And if you just walk through all of these, you'll realize that that's the opposite of that is a recipe for professional trading. So, stay tuned. We're going to be in good shape on the anti step-by-step guide. Thanks to the Biden leadership, we know already from inflation that the S&P is down 21%. Every single sector is getting murdered, including 30% in tech, except the energy. That's the energy policy. No more drilling, 68% return. And then he has the nerve to gouge them for profiteering. Unbelievable. Want to show some respect here for my brother. He's working hard on the finishing touches on the sniper trading course. Here's 3 days of sniper trading under his guidance. This is what he's going to teach you to do. So on the 3 days in November, 3 days, 50R, very smooth equity curve, stable rolling R average of 1.0 expectancy. There's the trade sequence plot. Nothing worse than 1R. Reasonable array of wins, including some windfall profits. 50 trades. The best performer was 7.7. The worst loss was -1R. He's got 33 wins, 2 scratches, 15 losses. That's a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio, 66 to 30. Call it 2-to-1. And then 1.8R average winner, half an R average loser. That's 3.5 to 1 on the relative wins to losses on a 2-to-1 win to loss rate. How many times a day do you want that trade? How many of those trades do you want? You want all of them. That's correct. Here's what they look like. This is U.S. Steel, one of our standard trading plays. Starts the day Going long with a quick loss, tries the reversal, makes a second quick loss, keeps firing, gets 2R win, adds a position, another 2R gain, adds a position, another 2R gain, adds a position. It starts to roll over. He's all out, and that's a total of 7.3, including the 2 losses. Micro loss, takes a break for lunch and reset. Micro loss, micro loss, micro loss. And then a nice gain to offset the afternoon. The afternoon losses total 13.3 R. Add 6 R in other symbols in the material sector, so 19 R for the day. Pretty good day at work. Here's Luke with the 5-minute Aussie. Quick loss, stop and reverse, big win. Quick loss, big win. Comes in just on the north side of flat for 0.7 for the day. Here's Woj in the on 5 minutes, I believe. Devon Energy on 3 minutes, excuse me. 0.7 R win. SSC stop and reverse. Nice big win. Perfect exit. Quick scratch. 2.9 on Devon. In Tesla, monkeys around a little bit. Flat for the day. Wasn't much movement. I think this was Hispanic control issue. He was making money over in here and couldn't pay attention to that one. He got the better mover anyway. That's what it looks like. Some more work in Devon and Tesla. Those are from yesterday. This was from today. 0.7 and 1.8 in Tesla, catching the big moves in Tesla and in Devon. Here's Constantine, just continues to crush gold. It was such an amazing move in gold today. Gets a 5R win in the usual way. Couple quick shots, quick stops, but he keeps firing, and then this one pays off. And even on a single position, brings home 18.2 on about a 6 sigma move intraday on gold. Well played. He's got some more work. This is what that early trade looked like. The scale was so tough on the other one you couldn't even see it, but there was that sell-off, then an SSC, crushes it for 5R, takes the quick exit to preserve the win when it starts stalling just where you would expect. This was the same pattern and the same pattern. They just didn't follow through, so he's out quick. Perfectly managed. And then the big deal of the day hits over in here shortly after that exit. Here's a really good sequence from Tim. He shifted now to some individual companies in order to find the movers, and let's see how he gets on here. Has a COTA 2. He's able to turn that into a win by respecting the PSAR. COTA 2 reentry, gets paid for 1.4. His total today was 6.7, so he been working on his span of control, and it really paid off. Here's Cliff. Now, notice that he doesn't start trading until here, so the run's not over just because you see that. He gets a really nice entry, PSAR flip for the exit for another 1.6. Working on Tesla, he sees big harsh sell-off. Double bottom with the R10s. Takes the breakout from above the emerging dragon takes the PSAR exit for 1.9, standard plays. And then in Microsoft, which was on our short list, brings home another 1.8. This is a COTA 2 for basically a scratch, COTA 2 reentry for a scratch, COTA 2 reentry for 1.4. So 7R for the day, very nicely played. Now for the market postures, double bottom, COTA 2. We're stuck right in the middle of this critical state. We should see some fireworks tomorrow on the relief rallies. It looks like the nation's voting for gridlocks with the big wins by the Republicans. We'll see how the Senate shapes out. On the daily, you can see that our 1, 2, 3 entry, which was here, has paid off on a 2-day move to here. We're getting ready to test the 10-day high and the 30-day high there, and if it breaks out above 390, get a good shot to run into 400. The breakdown here could take us back to the 10-day low, the support level at the double bottom on the R10s, and then the 150 and 30-day low here. So those moves are still there in a bear, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a relief rally. In the sector performance today, the S&P up 0.54. What was better? Emerging markets, tech, diamonds, and treasuries. 0.7, 0.7, 1%, 1.1%. Only the Russell was worse at 0.04. Let's take a look at the underperformers. Baseline S&P 0.54. The first cluster of sectors. The Aussie dollar, lumber, retail real estate, staples, and the FANGs now just at 0.15. Here's the cutoff line between winners and losers. Discretionary 0.25 minus 0.25. The big cluster of losers here: Mexico, ARC Innovation, agriculture, oil exploration, blended commodities, commercial real estate, and oil, getting us all the way down to minus 2.7. Tesla getting smashed for another 3% loss to 191. Bitcoin and Ethereum, Robinhood, and Coinbase all getting murdered. What does that even mean? But there's some opportunities from the panic selling in here. Squarespace joined, but it was only down a quarter. Devon Energy was basically flat. And then Microsoft and Apple both lagged the broad market and tech, coming in around 0.4. All right, let's just while we're here, let's take a quick look at our semis. There's Intel, Texas Instruments, and NVIDIA. So NVIDIA was the big winner in semis at 2.1. Texas Instruments pretty good at 1.46. Intel lagging only up a quarter. Looking at winning sectors, again, here's the S&P baseline at 0.54. You got finance, lumber, biotech, Brazil, and S&P tech up to 0.96. Clean energy 1.25. A cluster of materials, archenomics, uranium, and lithium. That's the sniper trade of the day we just saw between 1.7, 2.1. VIX and marijuana 3.8, 2.9. Wheat and precious metals on that strength in gold up 4.5. Individual companies that did well, PayPal didn't get caught up in the financial disruptors meltdown. And now here's your metals: Alcoa, U.S. Steel, and Cliff. So it's the metals right now. Wow. Was that any good? And you saw my brother's trade in U.S. Steel for 13R. And then Rivian rounds out the winning positions here at 1.6. I'm sorry I missed Agnieszka's excellent day in the DAX, so let me just quickly insert this one. Quick short that's failed slightly after she lets the sideways quiet channel develop, gets the breakout, and brings home +3 for a total of 2.6 trading the DAX on the 5 minutes. So really nicely done. Good patience. Shifting to the daily report and dashboard one, bear normal. Significant improvement on the 2, 10, and 30-day lookbacks. Risk Z is still postured for an increasing gain. Some warning lights on the internationals. The min pains that are working, McDonald's, Procter, Boeing. The max pains, Tesla, Microsoft continuing to lag. In the Dow 30 tactical, some weakness here in Tesla, 4.9 to 1. But otherwise, lots of strength on all the breakouts. A handful of auto framers better than 2 to 1. Plenty to choose from. To me, it's the metals, Alcoa. In the ETFs, again, lots of breakouts, no weakness in sight. Treasuries and consumer discretionary. That's on weakness in Tesla, which is the biggest element. Some warning signals on the internationals, but I think the relief rally in the U.S. is going to benefit them. The geopolitics is still problematic. Standard auto framers and squeezes. Handful of Godzillas in the S&P. I like the one-day movers. I'm looking at the Z1 scores for the exceptional moves. Still plenty that were above 3. Newmont Mining and Amgen really come to mind. In the most volatile ones, I'm looking for the double greens or the divergence between green and red. So Fidelity Financial Services is a quick heads up, and Apple also green and red. So Apple, I think, is going to be poised for relief move tomorrow. Stats for the sniper and the 10-day NDX showing really pretty much strength across the board, with the exception of blockchain and Tesla, and but otherwise situation normal. All right, that's everything we got for today. We'll get this published and posted, and we'll be ready to trade this thing tomorrow. Take good care.